Hi everyone. I'm hoping that this works. Sorry I'm a little bit late. Kept telling me I didn't have any internet connection. So I'll wait for you guys to sign in. Oh, there's someone. So I guess it's working. So hopefully we're not going to have any issues tonight. Oh, crazy, crazy day. Lots of fun things to show you. Oh, it's working awesome. Yeah, I tried signing on like 3 times and it said I had no internet connection, which is weird because I've been using the internet like right up until now. So we're considering this to be Valentine's week because we just got some new Valentine products in. We have been getting things in, but we have some recent new products from Concord and Ninth, My Favorite Things, and Honeybee. So I'm going to start off this Wednesday with some cards and things from Concord and Ninth and like a card sample from My Favorite Things. And Mona came in today and got her Honeybee stamps and dies, and she'll be featuring those on Saturday. Or no, Friday at 2 o'clock. She's working. So it said the same thing to me. Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of icy. I don't know if the weather is messing things up, but I'm glad you guys got me. Especially since I worked really hard in getting all these samples done by 7 o'clock today. Okay, so let's start off with a die, and I left the packaging somewhere. I don't know if I left it at the store or whatever, but I haven't come across. But this is the main die, and then there's 2 dies that one says love and then one says smile that comes along with this set. I think this is called the potpourri die, something like that. But definitely something like right up my alley. And the cool thing about this particular floral background die, this particular die comes out. And so when you die cut it, you'll get something like this. And that flower that doesn't have any holes or dimension and detail inside of it is actually a really cool place where you could actually stamp a message. So I'm really loving the waffle flower. We got waffle flower in too, but I don't think that's ready to release for a couple days, so we'll show you that one later. So I think I'm going to do Smile, You Are Loved. I think it's going to fit right in there. Hello will fit in there too. Let me just get some ink on here and then we can kind of see. This die, Concord and Ninth. And I think this is one that we're going to actually use in the Super Bowl class. So should have moved it over a touch, but you can see how you can stamp a message right on your card in that design. And I think that was really cool that they even had that thought to do that. So let me move these out of the way. And this is called it's a potpourri. There is a stamp set because I think there's a little banner die that comes, but the messages that they actually have that coordinate with that set, I find them kind of like wonky, and I didn't care for it myself. I have a lot of other great messages, and so I would choose to use those. So here is that die again, and you can see there's that big flower. So on this this time around, I put the die inside, and that's why I have the washi tape on the back, so when we die cut it, it's set in place. And I just did kind of a tone on tone with the pink, and just put happy birthday on it. So you could use this for anything. You can use it for, a thank you, a birthday. You could put Valentine's. You can do, the red, black, and white. How pretty would that be? And use it for a Valentine's Day. Happy anniversary. I mean, it's just a really beautiful die. There is another set of stamps and dies, and this is called Sweet Sayings. And a lot of these cards that I'm showing are going to be intermixed, using some of these on a card, from different sets and such. And you can see there's a hugs and kisses, the little postage stamp. But what I'm using next, and I'll show you next, is this Love and Hugs. I love their big, bold font dies. I'm like collecting them. And so on this card, I use that same background die, but it made it on the full card. And then I used the Love and Hugs die with white letters. And then the outline, I chose a deeper green, turquoise, that coordinates with my other papers on here. And so what this would create, let me grab the die. So this creates a background, and let me go cut one real quick so you could see it. So this creates the shadow, and then the next one you'll get the outline and you'll get the letters. And let me go cut one of those real quick. So what you really want to do is actually cut two of these, two of everything, two different colors. So you can see the outline that this creates. And then if I cut this again in another color, that's where I just set them back in. But you really want to be careful. This is my cutting plate for the crossover. You want to keep all these little pieces because you'll have to insert those back in these couple spots, in the E and the O, in the ampersand, and in the G. And so that's how this card was made. So because I had die cut everything twice, I have more or less the negative of that to make another card. So this is the card I made with this, and you can see that I reversed it. So my background paper, instead of being white, it's a turquoise. I used the white die cut, and then when I cut this turquoise, the turquoise letters were put into the white. So hopefully that makes sense. So it's almost, whoops. So it's almost like, you have to make two cards at the same time, just for the fact that even if you saved all these little pieces, you probably would lose these. And then by the time you would go back to put the card together, you would think that those were scraps, and you'd probably throw them out thinking that you don't need them. So, so this actually is just a really super fun and easy card, and you get kind of like a 2-for-1. So that was using that potpourri background die along with the Sweet Sayings die. And that's the one that has the hugs and love in it. I really love that floral background. I just, I want to, do a card, just even white on white. I love the look of white on white. And then by adding something just to give it a pop, that'll probably be really beautiful. I believe this one is called Love Lines, and I don't have the die at home with me, but I'm pretty sure, well, here's part of it. Yeah, I do have it. The Love Lines die. There's also another little die that has a variety of different little size hearts that cut out. So this is the Love, 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 Love You. You have 2 flag dies, 2 flower dies, and what I did is just made really like fast cards. Like you don't have to do a whole lot. And the other thing I wanted to show you, a lot of people are like, I don't send Valentine's Day cards. Well, I think everything that we're using here, thanks, Barb. Everything that we're using here isn't really just Valentine's, that you could use it for other, like birthdays and thank yous and anniversaries and so on and so forth. And, here I chose kind of a Valentine's Day paper for the background, made it really simple. You could add other little embellishments around. I could have put the little hearts that go on here, but we have a lot of hearts going on in the background already, so I just left it. And the other thing, since I left it, if you notice, I cut my card down. So this is 4 by 5 and 5 and an eighth. So I cut a 1/4 inch off each side to make it a little bit smaller, yet it still fits in your A2 envelope, and it kind of is a little bit more proportional to that particular die. And here is another version, and I love this paper that we got into the store. It's supposed to be kind of a winter flower, but I think it's like a really beautiful paper. And so here, this is definitely not Valentine's Day at all. Yeah, well, my anniversary is May 12th, so maybe I can save this. I could put it up in the store for a while and then take it down and give it to Mark. And you can see on this one, I did put some of the little embellishments from Pink Fresh. And I chose the gold. I tried putting white on, and it didn't do anything. You really didn't see it. And the gold actually just kind of popped. It was in that kind of tone, that color tone. So we have another die that I'll show you in a little bit that we'll do. It's the Matchbox die from Concord and Ninth. And we're just going to move over quickly to My Favorite Things. They have this great sentiment set, and this one is called Sweet Nothings, and it has some Valentine type sayings in it, but it just has just a lot of variety, not anything specific for Valentine's Day that you would use that anytime. And so on this card I chose Chocolate Makes Me Happy, and so do you too. And this was just a takeoff from their sample they did, but just really kind of clean and simple. So it's using the sentiment down here, and then it's using this box of chocolate die. And you can make this a shaker, or you could I just did a kind of a simple card, and I used the mirror paper for the background of the foil, like the heart, candy box. And you get all these little decorations that can go on top of your candies and your chocolate. So it was a really kind of fun little, card to put together. And then I used this, oh gosh, it's an envelope die. It's new from Pretty Pink Posh, and it's great for little Valentines for kids. So what I did is I put the chocolate box on top of here, and in the inside you can actually put some chocolate. I used the Ghirardelli, I used a little embellishment over here from, I put this on, but I really want to move it to seal it up. That's from Doodlebug, one of their little enamel dot embellishments. And so you have just a simple little, thank you. You can give them, to other people. Give one to your mailman, your hairdresser, anyone that you're kind of going and visiting around Valentine's Day. I think they would love that. Just a cute little envelope. And so the envelope die, I didn't bring that one home, but that's Pretty Pink Posh in their new release. I have no samples yet, but those that know me, they have this great typewriter die. So we'll be getting a sample of this. And then they have a whole set of stamps that are typewriter stamp sentiments that you can put in your typewriter. So if you have never been into our store, we typically have a typewriter on our front display, and it's an old vintage typewriter. I have one in my house, and when the grandkids come over, they just love going over there and clicking the keys and so on and so forth. But I have this thing about these vintage typewriters, so I can't wait to do this. Oh, the envelope, it would be great for junk journaling. You could put messages in there, ticket stubs, things that you've collected that you want to just kind of encase and put them in there. So the last thing I'm going to show you is the new little Perfect Matchbox die kit. You can see there's lots and lots of parts and pieces in this particular set. So we have the Matchbox cover, the Matchbox little drawer that pulls out. This is just a piece for decoration on the top. We have a little rainbow. We have flowers. We have a kite, the word hi, the sun, for you. I think the stem for flowers. So a ton of different things. And then they have these matchsticks. And so this kit kind of encompasses children to adults, because with the matchsticks and with this set, there is a coordinating stamp set. And this one is called Perfect Match Stamp Set. And you can see on the back, this is a stamp, or perfect match. One that doesn't do anything with the matches, just for you. All these little sentiments that can go on there, and flowers and so on. And this is the match flame that goes with the matchsticks. So it's just kind of a really cute set that you can use for Valentine's Day, but you can use it for so many other times. So I'm going to put one of those together to show you how easy it is. So I've cut the box. This is the box top, and there are little score marks. And one of our customers asked, make sure you tell them what kind of paper you use. Well, this is Doodlebug, and this is probably, I would say, 85-pound weight, and this worked really well. And I have cardstock, which is our typical, you can see the score marks over there, 80 or 85-pound weight. I did do a card. I tried doing the heavier, the 110. When I did 110, it didn't score as well, and it was a little bit more difficult finding the creases. And I think it made a bulkier little matchbox, which wasn't necessarily better. So last week, for the past 2 weeks, a lot of store owners have been taking a lot of classes from vendors, because this is typically when we would go to a winter convention. And because the winter convention is no longer, A lot of companies have been doing Zoom education classes, whether through Facebook or whatever, for store owners. So the past 2 weeks have been like really crazy. I do have a lot of finished products that we'll be reteaching. I showed a couple of them, and then little by little, I will be sharing with you as the stuff comes in, the projects that we did. And actually, one of the companies that we did was Lawn Fawn, and if I remember, we can share the cards that we made, and that's for their next new upcoming release. So you can see they have those little tabs, and I'm just gluing them. So this is going to be the little drawer. You can see there's a little decorative design on the door front. You could, I was thinking afterwards, and I totally forgot, you could put a little bread there if you want like a little pull-out. And I can always go back and do that. This one, super easy, the cover. And what you want to make sure is that you're using whatever adhesive. I'm fine with the Nuvo because I know how strong it is, and it really adheres really fast. I'm going right to the edge. So that's the outside of the matchbox. And then you have the little drawer. So eventually what I'm going to do, I think on this one, this was one of the dies, not from the matchbox, but was in one of the other sets. I have to carefully kind of punch these out. It says Hugs and Kisses, so I was thinking maybe put that on the top with the glitter paper. I haven't completely decided what I'm going to do. But let me show you some of the other samples. Here is one that I did earlier. So I just used pink paper, and I used that Hugs and Kisses and popped out the letters. And then I just used that little rectangle die that they have for the layer on the front, and I just used another Doodlebug paper on the side. You could put one on the bottom if you wanted, and I found that I would prefer using a regular standard weight cardstock, whether it's the 80 pound, 85, and add the layers, because the layers on the outside actually give it a little bit more strength than using that 100 pound cardstock to make the box. That really, by the time you creased it and so on and so forth, it didn't come together as nicely as using a regular weight paper. And then I have these little embellishments from Doodlebug, the little tiny hearts. These little bigger hearts, and then that's what I used just to embellish the top of this little box. And then I have two samples that were right from Concord and Ninth. In that set of dies, you have this really cute little kite, you have the little clouds, you have a sun, and you can put a little sentiment down there. So it doesn't have to be Valentine's Day. It could be any kind of day. Birthdays, kids have birthday parties, and, or, if you have a tiny little Easter bunny die, you can use these for Easter. And then here was a rainbow. Once again, these were just right from Concord Ninth. These were their ideas, but just showing the use of all the different dies that you can use. And then it does fit 2 small chocolates in there, just so you know. So that's what I have to show you for tonight. So we have the little Matchbox die. It's called the Perfect Matchbox Die from Concord and Ninth. These particular items are in the die set. The Hugs and Kisses came from one of the other sets that I showed. That one came from the Sweet Sayings with that big hugs and kisses. We have the candy box die from My Favorite Things in the sentiment set called Sweet Nothings. And then the Sweet Sayings. We used that on the front of this card with the potpourri die from Concord and Ninth. And then the love lines. Just another really simple, quick die set to make some super quick cards. So anybody have any questions? We have our little envelope from Pretty Pink Posh. The Sweet Sayings, all these sentiments, these are from My Favorite Things, and it's called Sweet Nothings. Don't forget, 2 o'clock on Friday, Mona has some really cute, well, she always has some really cute samples. I haven't even seen them yet, but she always does an amazing job. So you definitely want to check in on Friday at 2. And then I will be back on Saturday morning at 9:30 to show you what's new in the store and kind of give you a recap. If we get any other Valentine samples, we'll be sharing those with you. So until then, I just want to say, everybody, stay safe. It's been kind of nasty out there today. And we'll see you soon. And thanks for joining me. Have a great evening.